Kool Moe Dee said some word salad, some dumb mess. I think is this incel talk? Is Kool Moe Dee an old incel? Is he like an old BGS? Let's go.
You got kids?
No.
No kids.
Intentionally.
And you did? And why?
I did not want, and this is from childhood, and I said one thing that people don't pay attention to my opinion. In poverty, the boy and the girl is pitted against each other. We're attracted to each other while simultaneously being pitted against each other. The girl definitely wants to have children, and the boy definitely does not want to.
Okay, that's all she did was a kidnapping? Hey, listen, kidnapping is such a broad term. Like I say, if you move somebody more than 15 feet against their will, that's kidnapping. So, is that really a bad thing? Once again, listen to this incel talk from Kool Moe Dee. Kool Moe Dee is 62 years old and still hasn't processed or fixed his childhood trauma from lack of money, right? Childhood trauma doesn't have to necessarily mean abuse or torture, emotional abuse, physical abuse. It could be financial, right? If your child, respectfully, some of y'all grew up, you turn the lights on and there's no lights. Some of y'all grew up, getting them pink slips for whatever bill collector, right? Some of y'all come home with the eviction notice on the door. That's trauma, right? A lot of people that like to spend their last dollars on designer shit grew up like that. Like I'm not, there's that. I've never had stuff when I was little, when I was young. We were always poor. Now I get a chance to, splurge and reward myself with these high-end designer things because I didn't have it when I was little. Okay, this sounds like some unresolved childhood trauma issues relating to finances. I don't know what it's like to have roaches in the cereal box. Sorry, Ghostface. I can't relate to that. I don't know what do y'all call it? A mayonnaise sandwich is. Okay? I didn't have to resort to eating bologna sandwiches. Right? I told you the story. The one time my mom tried to fix us pork and beans, I called my dad like, yo, she's not feeding us. True story. My mom fixed us pork and beans one night. She had to go to work, right? Because we were latchkey kids. And she's like, there's pork and beans in the thing. And I said, Dad, we're hungry. I said, Dad, we're hungry. She's not. I didn't want to eat no pork and beans, right? I called my dad. I said, Dad, we hungry. She's not feeding us. And if we didn't hear that motherfucking car, skirt, what you mean she not feeding? We were like, Dad, look, she eating no pork and beans. Like, we didn't want no beans and weenies or something. Yeah, it was like beans and weenies. Like, Dad, I want to eat no beans and weenies. Yo, so by the time my dad came to the house, he done called my mom at work and he done cussed and fussed like, what you mean you're not feeding my, and I didn't want to eat no beans and weenies, y'all. I didn't want to eat no beans and weenies, man. Hey, I feel bad. I don't know. No, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I don't know what a syrup sandwich is. I don't know what a mayonnaise sandwich is. Only time I ate a bologna sandwich because I was bored. I peeled the red string off the outside of it. I'm like, oh, a bologna sandwich. Okay. No, there's no one here to cook. I'm bored. There you go. Out of boredom. But yeah, I got cussed out by both my parents for being a little bougie brat. But guess what? You never saw another can of beans and weenies in the house ever again after that. Oh, wait. I have eaten Spam. Spam sandwiches are good. I'll eat a Spam sandwich, like, to this day. If we have a couple cans of Spam, like, I'll do that. But I don't know those type of struggles. So I don't have these unresolved issues to try to make up for my childhood by spending on designer stuff. Like, people like that. But anywho, Kool Moe Dee sounds like he still has not gotten over growing up poor. Okay? I get what he's saying about not having kids why you can't afford them. But this man is 62 years old. Sir, you should have moved past that. But let's continue.
Actually go broke trying to have a child, whatever. So a lot of times you want to have sex, but you don't want to be a man yet. You want to grow up like a boy, but you still want to have sex. The girl wants to have sex, and I've been in this situation lots of times. She wants to have sex with me because she's a little girl, but she wants to be pregnant. I'm like, I'm not trying to have babies. So I had that mentality from very early. And I used to always say back in the day when I was younger, I needed a woman to be a girl to think beyond her maternal instinct. Just like a boy has to think beyond his youthful carnal instinct, quite frankly. Because a lot of times we're thinking, oh, I want to get it, I want to get it. But if you understand what comes with getting it, then you think differently about it. You have to.
Okay. And at some point throughout his life's travels, you would have thought he would have already met 10 or 15 women that would agree with his programming, right? You mean to tell me this man is 62 years old? He's traveled the world 10 times over. He has not found a woman to marry and have kids with? Like, you're 62 and you're still talking about, I didn't want to grow up and poor and have kids I couldn't afford and just have a baby to be having a baby. Sir, you're 62. When John Cena says, I don't want to have kids, he just says, I don't want to have kids. I got too many things I want to do. I get that. This is word salad. What are you talking about, sir?
Grow up to realize the consequences that come with that. And again, when a girl gets pregnant, you have no right over what she does with her body. So if she wants to have a baby, you have a baby whether you want it or not. So I was very aware of that very young. That was what kept me off it from the very beginning. So I was not ready to have a child when I didn't want to have a child. I didn't want to have that extended to the older age because I just didn't trust very easily either way. And having you make a decision for me, like having a child, was a very frustrating concept for me to grasp and come up with when I was younger.
Okay, so I get it. You grew up in poverty. You don't want to subject your child to growing up in poverty. Okay, sir, you left poverty a long, long time ago. I don't think he'll ever see poverty again unless he chooses to go back to the hood, right? So you still carry that trauma around with you to this day. Once again, this man has traveled the world 10 times over. All the women he's met on his level, above his level, whatever the case may be. You mean to tell me he hasn't crossed paths with 10 women that say, hey, I want to give you a family? Okay? You mean to tell me this man has not come across a woman that says, hey, I want to give you a family? Give me a house, I'll give you a home. Give me a house, I'll turn it into a home for you. So no women ever. This man is 62 with no kids. Just say you don't want to have kids, bro. Don't give us this word salad, this trauma that you from as a young. It's not working for me. But let's continue.
We're pitted against each other because of poverty, and the poverty circumstance is dictating more the decision for me than the actual carnal lust situation. I needed a girl to think beyond her maternal instinct.
That's different.
Yeah. Even Willie's like, that don't make no damn sense. Sir, you are 62 years old. Just say you didn't want to have kids. Like, you don't owe us any explanation why you don't have kids. Like, I used to look at men kind of crazy. Like, you don't have kids? Like, especially when they get, as they're older. Because I remember people used to question me because I was in early 30s. I didn't have no kids. I remember I had a woman question, like, why ain't you got kids? What's wrong with you? Like, bitch, ain't nothing wrong with me. I don't want to have kids. I was 31. So I would not be 62 years old trying to give excuses why I don't have kids. Just say you don't want to have kids. Like, that, all that, what you just said,